Hello everybody, welcome to Knowledge 10 Lesson 12. What do a flag, a bell, and an eagle have in common? Well, this is the very last lesson, and I will miss doing these. Oh well. Here we are learning about symbols. Now, a long time ago we talked about what symbols are. Symbols are pictures or statues or things that stand for something else. And we're going to get a little bit further into that word today. So, listen carefully to find out what a flag, a bell, and an eagle have in common. What do a bell, an eagle, and a flag have in common with each other? Well, all three are symbols of the United States of America. A symbol, remember, is a sign that everybody recognizes stands for something else. Well, what does this symbol stand for? Pretty obvious, eh? People see a symbol and know that it stands for something. For example, can you think of the symbol of our school? Something that makes you think of our school every time you see it? I'm not going to answer that one. I'll let you answer that one. Many sports teams have symbols. Can you think of any? We have symbols all around us. Before you even learn to read words, you probably learned to read symbols. Let's find out how a flag, a bell, and an eagle came to be symbols of or represent the United States of America. You already know a little bit about our flag from the legend of Betsy Ross. The flag with its 13 stars in a circle, that was not the first flag to be flown in America. During the early days of exploration, the flags of many different countries were used to represent different land claims. The first official flag of our nation was the one you learned about, flown on Independence Day, July 4th, 1776, and adopted by the Continental Congress a year later on June 14th, 1777. Do you remember what the 13 stars and stripes originally stood for? Yes, they were symbols for the 13 colonies that became 13 states. As the country grew, more states were added, and with each state, they added a new star to the flag. Pretty soon, there were too many stars to fit in a circle, so they changed the pattern. Now we have 50 states and 50 stars arranged in rows, still on a blue background like the original flag. The same 13 red and white stripes remain as reminders of the original 13 colonies. June 14th is National Flag Day in the United States, but our flag is flown every day all across America, from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean, as a symbol of the land of freedom. Now, it's pretty easy to understand how the stars and stripes became a symbol for our nation, but what about a bell? A bell. The Liberty Bell, another well-known symbol, is actually older than the United States itself. In 1751, the mostly copper bell was made in Great Britain, and it was shipped to Philadelphia, where it was rung to call people to meetings in the town square. According to legend, the Liberty Bell may have been rung from the State House steeple after the Declaration of Independence was first read in July of 1776, but it's a legend. We don't know for sure. During the Revolution, the colonists feared that the British might melt down the bell for cannonballs, so it was moved and hidden in a town just north of Philadelphia until the war was over. Now, over the years, the bell cracked, and it was repaired several times. The last time it was rung was on George Washington's birthday in 1846, when it cracked beyond repair. Today, the bell sits outside Independence Hall in Philadelphia. It's only about 3 feet tall. Now, 3 feet tall, you can imagine how tall that is. but it weighs as much as a hippopotamus. If you visit the Liberty Bell, be sure to look for the words of freedom taken from the Bible and written on its side. It says, "Proclaim liberty throughout all the land and unto all the inhabitants thereof." So, we have a flag and a bell. The third symbol is a bald eagle, a large bird of prey with a white head and tail found only in North America. It's a good thing they didn't choose the passenger pigeon, eh? Who chose the American bald eagle as a symbol of our country? To find out, we return once more to our friends Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin. Okay, what do you see in this picture? Well, when the Second Continental Congress met and declared independence from Great Britain, they also decided that they need an official seal. Now, a seal is an official image or a mark, and a seal is also a symbol. We're not talking about the animal, a seal, just, when you seal a letter or something. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams met to design the seal. They talked about using an eagle on the seal, but Franklin said, "No, I don't agree. I think a turkey would be a much better symbol of our country than an eagle." Well, there wasn't much time, so the men agreed on part of the seal that year, a statement that read, "E pluribus unum," which means in Latin, "out of many, one." They chose this saying because they were making one nation out of many separate states. It wasn't until 6 years later, in 1782, that the bald eagle, a symbol of long life, strength, and freedom, was officially added to the seal. Now, on the seal, the eagle holds an olive branch. You see that? An olive branch stands for peace. And in the other talon, it grips a bundle of 13 arrows, symbolizing the power of war. Covering its breast is a shield of red and white stripes, and around its head, if you look, there's a crest with 13 stars. Why do you think there are 13 arrows and 13 stars on the seal? Well, if you look carefully, you might be able to read the words written on one scroll in its bill. It says, "E pluribus unum," out of many, one. Now that you know what to look for, try being a symbol detective. As you go through your day, be on the lookout for flags, bells, and eagles, symbols of freedom, and reminders of our country's founders who fought for our freedom long ago. Okay, well, we're done with the last story. Now let's just go over a couple of words that mean more than one thing. See this one? There's a stamp. Number 2 is a stamp, like an ink stamp. And that guy in number 3, he's stamping his foot. Now, stamp, stamp, and stamp, they're all spelled the same way and pronounced the same way. They mean 3 different things. And here, in number 1, you have someone looking at a slip, a sales slip. And number 2, there's someone who is slipping. So to slip and a slip, spelled the same way, but one is a noun because it's a thing that she's holding there, and number 2 is a verb because it's something that he's doing. So remember, a noun is what we name things and what we call things, and a verb is something that we do. Can you think what the 3 of these pictures have in common? Well, it's easy if you look at the phone. The phone is getting a charge, right? And in number 1, the woman is in charge of those 2 people. And in number 3, the toreador is trying not to have the bull charge at him. So there's the word charge. It sounds the same, it's spelled the same, means 3 different things. I bet you can get this one. This is Capitol. See, that's a picture of Washington, D.C. up top. That's the Washington Monument there. That's the capital of the United States. And number 2, that's a capital A, a capital B, a capital C, and a capital D. So the word capital can mean more than one thing. Now this was kind of hard for me when I looked at it first. I'm thinking, a lightning strike? Oh yeah, it's a strike, a lightning strike. And what these people are doing with the drums, they're striking the drum. So a lightning strike is a thing, and what they're doing is striking. So number 1 is a noun because it's a thing. Number 2 is a verb because it's something that they're doing. And that's it. That's the end. I hope you have a chance to look back over some of these videos so that you can learn some things that you might soon forget about this great country we live in.